It was about the second day of 7th grade, and I remember it was in the morning. I was getting ready to go to school, and I was eating breakfast, and then the news came on, and that's when it happened.
I do remember waking up and seeing on the TV these buildings that were burning, and I was like, that's interesting. But I wasn't old enough to really be affected by it so strongly. I just knew that wasn't anything good.
I was walking in, I was in 5th grade at the time, and I had a yearbook club that met like early in the morning, and so I was going in there, and then a teacher stopped me. He's like, "Hey, did you hear what's going on?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, there was a bombing at the World Trade Center," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
I remember my mom and dad were like freaking out, and they're just really like really sad, and I didn't know why because I wasn't aware of what was happening.
And I do remember later on that day, the principal at our school came to every person's classroom and talked about what had happened.
And then so I remember as the day went on, we actually turned on the TVs and actually watched the footage. But we were just in Albuquerque, New Mexico at the time, so that's where I lived. So it wasn't that I was really close to it, but I was still kind of scared. And whenever there was like a plane that flew overhead, I was like freaking out, even though I was in this little school in the middle of nowhere.
I was a little bit more scared just because like anytime that happens, it makes you realize, wow, this could really happen anytime, like at any moment, to any building.
I think ever September 11th, ever since, it's just been kind of, like, whoa, it's, whenever I see like the numbers 9/11 anywhere, it just kind of, trips me out a little bit. And so I guess just, we know it's coming up, it's still kind of, definitely kind of has that meaning. You think about it and the victims and all that. So I know for some people, they've completely moved on and they're just like, yeah, whatever, it happened 11 years ago. For me, it's still somehow fairly fresh in my mind. I still really think about the victim and stuff, like on the anniversary of it.
I think that we've moved on enough to where we don't have to be afraid of going outside or going to work anymore. But the fact that we're still thinking about it every and like I don't think we're ever going to truly forget it. But I think that we as a culture have acclimated to it as having happened already, and I don't think it negatively affects us as much as it used to.
People our age and older definitely remember it, and like it still affects them. And I think people they still like make it known what happened on this day, but I don't think anyone that was like young during that time really like fully understands how horrible it was.
Definitely a touchy issue. I mean, but we're all able to bring it up and acknowledge it and just try to remember, and that's the best thing to do. You don't want to forget about it.